playing games, no, no. What's my name? Said, what's my name?
ShakaShine.
Okay.
ShakaShine.
What's goody fam? You already know who it is. It's ShakaShine, and I'm coming back at it with another reaction on ShakaShine Reacts. Today, we're doing an interesting video. I just saw this. So it's called he made $1 million shot and they didn't want to pay him. Whew. Anyways, so that's going to be interesting. You know me, I got to give credit when credit's due, and y'all deserve all the credit. So I got to say thank you. Truly appreciate every single one of y'all, especially the ones that's hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and commenting. Now, with that being said, I'm very interested in this, so let's get it going.
This is Don Calhoun. He's a big Bulls fan, and he's about to do something that will change his entire life.
Let's go. And he did it. That looked easy too. He made that look easy.
$1 million.
And that's just crazy. I mean, how many of y'all made those shots before? Because we all did those back in the day. I felt like, if you like basketball, you know what I mean. So the fact that he actually hit that and supposed to get $1 million for it. Psh.
That young man being hugged has just won $1 million here at Chicago Stadium.
Don just hit a shot from 80 feet out, a 3/4 court shot. His prize for nailing this absolute bomb, $1 million. He can't believe it. Fans.
And so how are they going to try to not pay him? Before we get into it, guess. Let's put it in the comments.
Erupt. Don joins the Bulls as they celebrate his victory. Michael Jordan throws his arm around Don and congratulates him.
Oh, this is when Jordan was on the team. Crazy.
Shot, kid. Don had just done the impossible, and with the game ball in one hand, $1 million check in the other, Don Calhoun did it. He was set. Except he wasn't. Due to a technicality in the rules of this contest, the insurance company that was required to make the payoff claimed they simply didn't have to pay the man. Don hit $1 million shot for absolute
insurance companies, bro. Like, how is this even legal? That's a scam.
nothing.
Come on. Dang, the man who hit the $1 million shot for $0. Come on, bro. Oops. And this is Jimmy High Roller. Didn't want to say that. Got to give credit when credit's due. I'll have the link to this video in the description.
Today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek.
Oh, we're not watching any sponsors, though. That's definitely what we're not doing. See, this is what happens when you pay for premium. You still get ads.
Use code Jimmy and get $20 off your first purchase. With $1 million on the line, do you think you could sink a three-pointer? Pretty incredible consolation for one simple shot, but no one in their right mind would ever offer such a prize for making a single three-pointer.
Right?
Except they did. Back in the 90s, during NBA All-Star Weekend, the league and a sponsoring company such as Foot Locker, American Express, Sony would host a contest for fans, the NBA's $1 million shot. It was one of the most anticipated side events of the entire weekend, and out of the millions of
and I bet you I know why they don't do that no more.
fans who entered to win a shot, only one would be chosen to take it. Get selected, make a three-pointer, win $1 million. An opportunity of a lifetime for 4 lucky contestants that were selected over the 4 years that the NBA hosted the contest. And to aid them in their quest for $1 million shot, each contestant was joined by a former or active NBA player to give them pointers and advice. In 1996, among these...
That's cool, too, that you get to meet a superstar, essentially, in the basketball era. You know what I mean? Or in the basketball league.
6 million entries, 17-year-old Demetrius Houston was selected to take the $1 million shot. With George Gervin by his side and 17,000 fans looking on, Demetrius lines up his shot. And with $1 million on the line, he clanks it off the backboard. Gervin tells the kid not to worry about it, but I'm sure he did.
Yeah, I would worry about it too.
A man named Jim Valente was selected to take the $1 million shot. His host and mentor for the event, NBA legend Oscar Robertson, a man who literally never made a three-pointer in his entire NBA career. But Jim was focused.
What? How have you? I mean, if you don't play that position, I guess, but that's crazy. That's crazy to think about now. Like a pro that doesn't have a single three-point shot. What?
It's his wife's birthday, and what better birthday gift than a $1 million check? So Jim steps up to the line. He's ready. The ways in which he'll spend the $1 million already racing through his mind. I'll get that Corvette I've always wanted. That'd sure look good in a Rolex. We could really use a new deck out back. Maybe I'll get a boat. Or maybe you'll get nothing. After the shot, Craig Sager asked Jim about his experience. $1 million. Gone. What went wrong, Jim? Give us some insight.
How did you feel at the time? What went wrong? I think I just pushed it a little bit right.
I mean, what else are you going to say? Like, for real, what else are you going to say? There's not much else there is. You sure did, Jim.
In 1998,
sure
a
did.
contestant named Sol Holkman was selected to take the shot. And for the first time in the contest history, a contestant actually hit the rim. Another year, another $1 million miss. But of all these $1 million shot events, none managed to top the one that started it all in 1995. The contestant that was chosen, 16-year-old Mike Hoban. For weeks leading up to the contest.
And that's crazy. 16, like, I'm pretty sure nowadays you have to be 18 to win pretty much any prize now. Like that, at least.
Mike spent 2
Let me know if I'm wrong. Put in the comments.
hours a day, every day, shooting three-pointers. Accompanied by all-star Dan Marley, Mike was locked in. Going through the most meticulous shooting routine you'll ever see in your life, Mike prepares his shot by, quote, becoming one with the basket. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled a microscope out and studied the hoop to better his odds. Now he's
Seriously.
taking phantom shots. His routine is becoming more unhinged by the second. But it works for him. Friends and family.
I mean, that's what I do. I visualize. I also skateboard, and that's how I do it. I go and visualize, then go do it. So
Gone. Watching him live on TV, ready to witness history unfold. Mike is ready. He lines up the shot. He shoots. And misses the rim by 2 feet.
probably because he's not, when he was practicing three-pointers, it probably wasn't on a league standard three-point line.
An air ball. The poor kid is devastated. Friends and family are stunned. All the while, the commentator of the event doing his best to help, but instead just pours on a slew of more disappointment in the process.
So young Mike Hoban has missed his shot at $1 million. The good news is, though, he doesn't win money, doesn't become a pro, and his college scholarship hopes stay alive. He'll go back to be the post-up player for his junior varsity team.
After the shot, Sager interviews the kid, where he has the bright idea of just asking for one more shot.
I wasn't really in that zone I wanted to be in, but, you know, one more shot.
You would like one more shot, wouldn't you?
Man, I would love another shot.
You'd like one more shot, wouldn't you? Mike never
Come on.
another shot. 4 contestants, $1 million on the line for 1 three-pointer and 0 winners. And looking back on these contests, it's pretty remarkable that no one hit their $1 million shot.
Seriously. But it does also show people think that these professional athletes don't deserve. I mean, some of them have a little bit of a bloated paycheck, but I swear it's real easy to sit there in your living room saying what people should have done, especially when, like, if you're watching football, basketball, hockey, whatever, especially when you never done it. You know what I'm saying?
Because countless fans and contestants have hit much more difficult shots for far less money. We've all seen these contests unfold in person. A fan gets randomly chosen out of the stands to come down and try to hit a half-court shot. The prize money, nowhere near $1 million.
Yeah.
Usually the prize is $10,000 or maybe $20,000 or a car. This Mavericks fan hit a layup a free throw, a three-pointer, and a half-court shot in sequence without missing. An anomaly of events in this context. His reward for the incredible feat? $3,000 worth of gift cards to a local furniture store. But it...
I mean, it's better than nothing, though. I would appreciate it. Period, point blank.
It's worse. Because at a Mavs game a few years later, this woman was put to the task of sinking a half-court shot. She's rocking the dirt gear, she's feeling good, beautiful form, and drills the shot. Nothing but net. What was her prize for pulling this off, you ask? A 65-inch flat screen TV. Absolutely appalling. This guy, man...
Again, I would still appreciate it. Maybe that's just me. But I'd be just as happy. I mean, don't get me wrong, $1 million would be nice, but hey, like beggars can't be choosers, my G.
To drill a half-court shot at a Blazers game years ago and won round-trip tickets to anywhere of his choice. A pretty unlikely shot from the guy, but far from impossible. What is impossible, however, is the fact that another fan hit the same exact shot 30 seconds later. It's clear that some people actually make these shots. So what would happen if someone actually did hit a $1 million shot? What if instead of...
They won't get paid out is what will happen. I know that casinos do that too, which is, I don't understand how that works. If you're supposed to win this, it's all here. How can you just go back and be like, no, never mind. No, actually, it was a mistake. Come on.
Selling out some gift cards or a flat screen TV, a team had to actually hand over a 7-figure check to one lucky fan. It's April 14th, 1993. The Bulls are facing the Heat in Chicago. The Bulls are on a roll coming into the matchup on a 3-game win streak. By halftime, Chicago is up by 14. Jordan is killing the Heat, 22 points in the first half. It's a great time for home fans at
Jordan being Jordan.
Usual. But the real spectacle is about to take place. Throughout the 93 season, the Bulls hosted a promotion for their fans. Among the 18,000 fans in attendance for any given home game, one lucky individual would be chosen to shoot a 3/4 court shot to win $1 million. At the time, and to this day even, a $1 million cash prize for such an event is unheard of. But the odds of such a shot going in are so astronomically unlikely that the Bulls and the insurance company that would be responsible for paying out the prize money felt comfortable running the event anyways. Leading up to that,
hoping that people don't make it, which is dirty. That's why it should not, no, bro, you put that rules out, they did it. And now you don't want to pay them? Why? Because you thought they weren't going to make it? Messed up.
Matchup, 19 lucky fans had attempted the halftime $1 million shot. Of the 19, 2 hit the backboard, 16 were air balls, and just 1 even hit the rim. An estimate of a fan chosen at random hitting this shot, less than 1%. And so a member of the Bulls organization went into the crowd and selected a 23-year-old local by the name of Don Calhoun. The reason for selecting him? His shoes wouldn't scuff up the floor. Hopeful, but understanding the slim odds that he faced, Don walked down to the court and prepared to take his shot. A fun halftime gimmick, something to keep the fans involved. They just slapped $1 million on there to get everyone excited, but no one will ever hit the shot anyways. Chris Hammond, vice president of SCA Promotions, a leader in the promotional contest industry, looks back on the shot saying, "The perfect contest is like the most tempting carnival game. Just feasible enough to make people think they can do it while actually being extremely difficult. Exactly. You could have Steph Curry out there and still make money. Well, Mr. Hammond, it's time to pay up."
$1 million bucks? That young man being hugged has just won $1 million here at Chicago Stadium. And for Don Calhoun.
Hey, Jimmy High Roller, bro, you make a good video. This is interesting.
Bloomington, Illinois, a $1 million thrill.
In what is possibly the most inconceivable occurrence to ever happen on an NBA court, Don Calhoun drilled an 80-foot shot for $1 million. The whole place goes nuts. For a moment, it's like Don is part of this Bulls team and they just won another championship. Even the ref of the game comes over to congratulate him. The man just did the impossible. $1 million. That's more than half the guys on this roster made that
Come on, bro.
year. And with the job complete, Don heads over to snap a photo with the check in one hand and the game ball in the other. He did it. At least that's what he thought.
No, he did do it. That's not what he thought. That is what happened. And then whatever else happened is just dirty and messed up.
These promotions are combed through meticulously by some of the best lawyers money can buy. The rules and restrictions are tight. Break one
Yeah.
of them and you can kiss those winnings goodbye. Don Calhoun broke one of the rules. Not intentionally or anything, but among the stipulations of this promotion, one of them states that the contestant could not have played organized basketball within 5 years of the contest.
Dirty. That's dirty. Do y'all think that should be legal? That should be right? That should be okay? I mean, I guess it's in the rule book, but I guess they got to make these stipulations more clear because that small print stuff is beyond dumb.
Just 3 years prior to this contest, Don was a member of the Triton Community Basketball team. The contest people knew this. Don acknowledged this by marking the information on the contest form. But the contest people shrugged it off and gave him the shot anyways. The insurance
Then I don't think that should be on him. That should be on the contest people.
people, however, did not. To them, it was a clear breach of the rules. Don should have never been selected in the first place. And so the insurance company of the event disqualified Don out of his shot and out of his $1 million. When news broke that the now local legend would not be receiving his money, fans were livid. As reports on the event grew, fan outrage grew with it. And within a week, the Bulls organization was under so much local pressure that they held a press conference announcing that they actually had a change of heart and they would pay up. A very strange and inexplicable decision considering their stance just a few days prior. Don's $1 million split into 20 payments over the next 20 years. His first check for $50,000 was sent out that week. Technically,
I mean, that's dope.
rules were broken, but Don was getting paid, and he had no idea how or why. A year after his miraculous shot, Don heard that Michael Jordan would be in the area for one of his son's basketball games. A perfect opportunity for Don to get his $1 million game ball signed. So Don pulled up to the game in search of Michael, but with security flocking the NBA star, no fans were getting anywhere near him. But Don wasn't just an ordinary fan. He's the guy who hit the $1 million shot. Jordan recognized him in the stands and had security bring him over after the game. And with his ball in hand, hoping to get an autograph, Don approached Michael. But MJ didn't call him over to give him an autograph. Instead, he had to ask Don a question. Did you get your money? A year after the Bulls had their change of heart.
I mean, yeah, that's what I would want to know too. Like, did they give you your money or what, bro? What happened?
Decided to pay him his money. Don finally got an answer why. Turns out the insurance company wasn't the one who paid Don. They never intended to. After hearing about what the insurance company was trying to pull, Michael Jordan, along with other players on the Bulls, told ownership they needed to pay up. And so the organization did, out of their own pockets. Legally, the parties involved were within their rights to void the payments altogether, but Michael felt like what they were doing wasn't right.
It wasn't right. It wasn't right at all.
And so we made...
Oh, no. One second, y'all. We having technical difficulties. There we go. All right, let's keep it pushing.
Right. If it wasn't for Michael approaching ownership and demanding they pay Don his money, he would have never seen a cent of that $1 million. So it turns out that even if it was for a brief moment, Don Calhoun was a part of the Bulls. Seeking nothing in return, Michael and the rest of the players looked out for Don. Oh, and that autograph Don wanted, a couple weeks later, he got that too. So what happens if someone actually makes one of those inconceivable $1 million shots? Well, one way or another,
make sure you read those fine print, period, point blank.
They get paid.
Not always, but you know, it is what it is. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video. Again, if you're liking it, make sure you go to Jimmy High Roller's channel. Links in the description. And with that being said, I'll be back at it with another reaction tomorrow.